Dividing polynomials. A polynomial in x, can be written as the following. This is really important. The polynomial in x equals a to the x times q to the x plus r to the x. P of x, is a mistake. Yes, no it's not. It's your dividend or your original polynomial. It's what you're dividing into. Your dividend is what your original polynomial, what you're dividing into, the thing that's being divided. Your ax is your divisor. I'll show you in a minute. Your qx is your quotient, the result of your division, and your rx is your remainder. I'm going to show it to you with small numbers first. Okay? Now, before I write proof, we're not going to do a polynomial division first. We're going to do an ordinary division so you can see why this works, all right? So let's say I want to divide, 12 into... Simple. Wait, I'm going to prove that in a minute. We're just going to start with numbers first. If I was doing 12 into 256, I can do it short division method or long division method. I'm just going to use short division first. 12... doesn't go into 2. 12 into 25 goes twice, remainder 1, yeah? 12 into 16 goes once, and we're just going to write remainder, what? 4. Good. So, that's short division. I'm going to do long division as well. 12 into 256. It's the same sort of thing. 12 doesn't go into 2. 12 into 25 goes twice. Now, instead of keeping that 24 in your head, you write the 24 underneath, and you put your remainder 1. So this one here is the same as this one up there. So next thing we were doing was doing 12 into 16. We bring this 6 down, and we say 12 into 16 goes once. I put the 12 down here, because 12 times 1 is 12, and I subtract. And there's my remainder down there. So, what I can say here is that, for example, 256 equals, how many times does 12 go into it? 21. 256 equals 12 times 21. That gives me 252, and my remainder is 4. Now, if we use that polynomial notation, this one is P of x, or our dividend, what we're dividing into. The 12 is what is our divisor, is my a to the x, or ax. 21 is my result. Quotient is the result of your division. It's the result of a division. Right? Divisor is what you are dividing by. So your divisor is what you are dividing by. Your quotient is the result of your division. So that 21 is my quotient. Doesn't it make sense that it's qx, right? And there's my remainder. Isn't it great that it's rx? So really, q, quotient, is your answer of your division. R is the remainder. A is the divisor. P is your polynomial. I just prefer to call it the polynomial rather than the dividend. All right? So, now, when you see it this way as well, same thing. All right? This is your q of x. This 12 is your ax. This 4 is your rx. And this 256 is your px. Px is ax times qx plus the remainder. Okay? Now, if I just write that, so let's say, now when we come to prove this result up here, what are we actually doing? Aren't we dividing the polynomial in x by ax? Now, I'm going to write this answer a different way, all right? Can't I say, I just need a bit of room. Can't I say the following? Let's look at this again. Can't I say 256 divided by 12 is what? Actually, I'm going to give you a really easy example. Much easier example, watch. 7 divided by 3 is what? 2 and a third, right? Or 2 plus 1/3. Yeah? All right. I'm going to do the same here. Isn't 7 is my polynomial, 3 is my divisor. So isn't that my px? This is my ax, what I'm dividing by. Isn't 2 my quotient, right? Isn't it remainder 1? That's my remainder over what? What's the 3? Ax. All right? Get it? So that's my polynomial. That's my divisor, what I'm dividing by. We know it equals 2, goes in 2 whole times, 1 remainder. So 2 is my quotient, and my 1/3 is my remainder over what I'm dividing by. So same over here. 256 over 12 we know is 21 plus, we know it's 21 and 4/12, don't we? Which is 21 plus 4/12. Okay, so that means that polynomial in x divided by a to the x gives me my quotient plus my remainder over my original, the thing I'm dividing by. It's like this, 2 and a third. 2 plus 1, the remainder over what you're dividing by. All right, so that's that result. See, you have to know the 2 results. So if I divide my polynomial by my divisor, I get my answer plus my remainder over what I was dividing by. You can think of it like this. 7 over 3 equals 2 and a third. 2 plus 1/3. All right? So, proof. When I divide, I get that plus that. So now if I multiply through by ax, I get px equals, multiply each term by ax, what do I get? Ax times qx plus rx. So if I multiply these 3 terms by ax, the ax cancels, I get ax times qx, and I get rx, because the ax is cancelled. Isn't that the original result that I started with? You need to be familiar with those 2 forms, all right? Important thing is that the degree of the divisor is always less than the degree of the remainder is always less than the degree of the divisor. So for example, if you're dividing by x squared, your remainder has to have degree 1 or 0. Okay? Can't be the same degree. The degree has to be less than it. All right, so please, the different forms are really important. So at the bottom of this page, polynomial is your divisor times your quotient plus your remainder, or you can see it in the division form. If you divide your polynomial by your divisor, you get your quotient plus your remainder over your divisor. So you have to know these. Really important. 12.2, just looking at question 4 as our first example. Divide these polynomials and put them in that form. So we've got 2x plus 3 into 4x squared plus 2x minus 3. Okay. You just worry about the first thing here. 2x into 4x squared is 2x. Because 2x times 2x is 4x squared. Do we know what to do now? 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times plus 3 is plus 6x. We subtract. Should always get 0 for the first one. 2x take away 6x is minus 4x. Bring the minus 3 down. Now, it's 2x into minus 4x. What do you get? 2x into, it's minus 2. Let's try. Negative 2 times 2x is negative 4x. Negative 2 times 3 is minus 6. Subtracting negative 4x, take away negative 4x is 0. Negative 3, take away negative 6 is negative 3 plus 6 is positive 3. So therefore, there's my remainder. I can say that my polynomial 4x squared plus 2x minus 3 equals what times what? 2x plus 3 times 2x minus 2 plus the remainder is 3. Let's write it in the other form as well. I know it says just to put it in that form. What if I wrote it in this form? 2x squared plus 2x minus 3 divided by 2x plus 3. If you did your polynomial divided by your divisor, what do you get? Remember, this is like improper fractions, sort of improper to mixed numeral. What do you get? What's your answer? 2x minus 2 plus what's your remainder? 3 over what you're dividing by. So that's both forms. If you divide that by that, you get that plus the remainder. You know, you always put your remainder over what you're dividing by. So you can write it in both forms. All right? Now, while we're here, see how the remainder is 3? While we're here, oh no, we'll just leave that one. Question 9. Let's divide x squared minus 2x into 2x to the power of 4 minus 5x cubed plus 2x squared plus 2x minus 5. Okay, let's go. X squared into 2x to the power of 4, what is it? 2x squared, if you divide it. 2x squared times x squared is 2x to the 4. What do I do now? Are we okay? 2x squared times minus 2x is what? Minus, come on, x cubed. Then we subtract. Why do you only do 2? Because you're doing 2x squared times the first thing, 2x squared times the second thing. You'll only get 2 of them. Don't try and do the whole line. When you subtract the first column, you should get 0. Next, negative 5 take away negative 4 is negative 1. So it's negative x cubed. What do we do now? Bring down the next term. We only want 2 terms because I've got 2 terms out the front. If I've got 3 terms out the front, I need to have 3 terms down. And we'll try and find one of those if we do get one. Right, now I do x squared into negative x cubed. It's negative x. Or x squared times what gives me negative x cubed? Yes. What we're really doing is negative x cubed divided by x squared, you get negative x. Or x squared, yeah, that's what you do. You're dividing. So, now what do I do? Negative x times that is negative x cubed. Negative x times negative 2x is plus 2x squared. Oh, I've got 0 there and there when I subtract. So I must have to bring, that's it. I bring the other 2 down. But x squared doesn't go into 2x minus 5. So I bring this all down. I can't do any more. So, because look, x squared went into 2x to the power of 4. X squared went into x cubed, negative x cubed. X squared does not go into 2x. The remainder has a smaller degree than the divisor now. So I'm done. So therefore, I can say that my polynomial in x, which is 2x to the power of 4 minus 5x cubed plus 2x squared plus 2x minus 5. What does that equal? That times that, which is x squared minus 2x times 2x squared minus x plus, what's the remainder? Plus 2x minus 5. See, this under here, the dividend, equals the divisor times the quotient plus the remainder. Do you understand why I had to stop? X squared does not go into 2x. And once your remainder has a lower degree than your divisor, we stop. Okay? How else could I write it? In the other format. 2x to the power of 4 minus 5x cubed plus 2x squared plus 2x minus 5. If I were to divide it by x squared minus 2x, what do I get? If I divide my dividend by my divisor, what do I get? The quotient, which is 2x squared minus x plus, I want to write it in fraction form, plus my remainder over what I was dividing by. over x squared minus 2x. 17. So we've got x squared plus 5 into x cubed minus 3x squared plus 3x minus 1. Okay, we're doing x cubed divided by x squared. What do you get? 1x. So we've got x. X times x squared is x cubed plus x times 5 is 5x. Now, I don't put it there. Do you see? I go plus 5x here and 0x squared there. The 5x has to go under the x. Do you understand? And why is this happening? Because we've got a jump in powers in the divisor. So, x cubed minus x cubed is 0. Negative 3x squared minus 0 is negative 3x squared. 3x minus 5x is minus 2x. Now, I'm just going to leave that like that at the moment. I think I do have to bring down the minus 1 because the x isn't going to get touched again. So, x squared into negative 3x squared is what? Negative 3. So I go minus 3. So I've got minus 3x squared minus 15. So I'm just going to go plus 0x. All right. So I get 0 there when I subtract. Negative 2 minus 0 is negative 2x. So negative 2x minus 0. I've got nothing there, right? Negative 1 minus negative 15 is negative 1 plus 15, which is plus 14. So I can say, therefore, x cubed minus 3x squared plus 3x minus 1 equals what? X squared plus 5 times x minus 3 plus, instead of putting plus, I'm just going to write minus 2x plus 14. And you can write it in fraction form. Actually, you better be very careful when you write that in fraction form. Let's write it in fraction form. X cubed minus 3x squared plus 3x minus 1 over x squared plus 5 equals your quotient plus, please, I'd write it as plus my remainder. You got it? Be careful because it's not minus the 14. It's minus 2x plus 14. So I'd be going plus negative 2x plus 14, or even write that as 14 minus 2x. That would be safer over x squared plus 5. Okay, so be careful. You cannot, if you put the minus out here, you're going to have to change that to a minus. Or if you do want to put the minus, you'd have to go like this. And I would not be doing that because you're supposed to put plus the remainder. Because it's minus 2x plus 14. So, but I wouldn't be doing that, all right? Now, last one, you've got a gap, 2 gaps in the dividend. So it's x minus 1 into 3x to the power of 5. You've got to write plus 0x to the 4 minus 2x cubed plus 0x squared plus x minus 1. Please don't forget the powers or that are missed. So 3x to the 5 divided by x is 3x to the 4. I think this is going to be a long one. So this is 3x to the 5 minus 3x to the power of 4. Subtracting those, you get 0 minus negative 3 is positive 3x to the 4. Bring the 2x minus 2x cubed down. X into 3x to the 4 is 3x cubed. This one's going to take about 5 lines. 3x cubed times x is 3x to the 4. Times by negative 1 is minus 3x cubed. Subtracting 0, negative 2, take away negative 3 is positive 1. Plus 0x squared comes down. Again, dividing. Sorry, the reason this is going to take long is you're only dividing by x. So you're only dropping a power every row, not 2 powers. X into x cubed is x squared. X squared times x is x cubed. X squared times negative 1 is minus x squared. Subtracting again. 0. 0 minus negative 1 is positive 1. Bring the x down. We don't bring the 1 down. X into x squared is plus x. So we've got x squared, x times x is x squared, x times minus 1 is minus x. X take away negative x is 2x. Now we bring the minus 1 down. X into 2x is plus 2. And then we get 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 1 is minus 2. Subtracting, we get negative 1, take away negative 2 is negative 1 plus 2 is 1. So now, writing it in that form, 3x to the 5 minus 2x cubed plus x minus 1, I'm not going to write it with all the zeros, equals x minus 1, my quotient, times my, no, that's my divisor, times my quotient, 3x4 plus 3x cubed, plus x squared plus x plus 2, plus 1 is the remainder. That's not in the fraction form. I could write it in the fraction form if I wanted.